Well, we'll dive right in. So I wondered if you both could kind of tell us a bit about what you both do at Holyrood.
Yeah. So hi, I'm Elizabeth. I'm one of the part of the distilling team. So it's myself and one of my colleagues, Elliot, and my day-to-day job is basically running all of this lovely equipment that you can see the final bit of, which is our lovely spirit still. And obviously behind that, we also have a lot of logistics because we're a very small city centre distillery, so our warehouse is a little bit far. And yeah, producing all of our gin, whiskies, and Lucy?
Yeah, so hi everyone, I'm Lucy. I work with Elizabeth here at Holyrood and I run the cask program that you saw David and Cole speak about in the video. So my day-to-day, I work quite closely with the production team, so that's our distillers like Elizabeth and also our guys at the warehouse to kind of make the orders that we're receiving from our cask owners. And then I'm the point of contact, so keeping in touch with all of them, making sure they're up to date with what's happening at the distillery.
Fabulous. There's, I think there's a relative of yours, Sarah Geraghty, says, "Hi, Lucy, looking good." Very good. Trying to embarrass you, I'm sure.
Oh no, team member of SMWS.
Oh, okay, awesome. I've got a wee question for you. I don't honestly mind who answers it. So a lot of our members haven't had the chance to make it down to the distillery. Could you tell us a bit more about what makes it so unique?
Yeah, so I'll take this one if you don't mind, Lucy. So I think obviously being in a city centre distillery, most distilleries now sort of ventured a little afar because obviously logistics and running the whole process. And probably the fact we're in a listed building, so we're in quite a constrained space. If you actually come down to our place, you can see all of our whiskey distillery equipment actually on one floor. So it's secretly on 2 floors because it's also down below. All of our tanks are double stacked, so all of our fermenters are double stacked, our hot liquor tanks are double stacked, and it's actually quite an interesting piece of engineering. And then of course our stills are lovely and tall as well. And you can have a full tour if you do come down at some point. We can take you through flavour, we can take you through the gin making process, whiskey making process, before letting you leave through our own little cask room that we have as well on site. So it's packed full of a lot of experience.
Great.
Make it unique then, yeah.
I actually had a question for you, Elizabeth, and that was how you kind of got into distilling, how you really got started with it.
Yeah, so that's actually a funny one. I started off my, I guess, professional career as a nurse and decided that probably wasn't for me long term. And I was actually a brewer by hobby. So I found out about the masters at Heriot-Watt and decided that nothing lost, nothing gained. I applied for it. And a couple of years later, here I am. I managed to bag the dream job in Edinburgh City Centre and converted into distilling as well. After sort of having a trial go at them both, I was definitely sold into distilling of a brewing.
That does sound like a dream job. Although I have to say, I think working in whiskey just generally is a dream job.
Yeah,
Really.
I agree with that. Drams, Lucy, have you got a wee dram in your hand there?
I do, yeah.
What are you having then?
This is one of the Holyrood Spirit Merchants range. So this is our fruity one.
Nice.
So for a cold evening.
Absolutely, sounds perfect.
Yeah.
I'll ask another wee question if that's all right. So obviously a lot of members watching tonight. How else can members get involved at the distillery?
Yeah, so obviously we're running our tours and you can come and visit us. But as you saw in the video, we're also running our custom cask program, which is what I run with the distillers and guys. So we've actually got a competition running with SMWS at the moment where you can win your own cask. So if you haven't entered that, definitely do because it's amazing. But that's one of the other ways you can get involved is you can have a cask with us here at Holyrood. the kind of process behind that, we have a flavour consultation where we bring you down to the distillery and we take you through their new make spirits that we're making alongside a couple of single malt whiskies to kind of explore the flavour and what you're looking for. And then once we've kind of identified that, we go to our lovely distilling team and speak to them about what kind of recipe will suit that. So the yeast, the barley, the malts, and whole production process as well as the final cask. And then once we've kind of agreed all of that, we put that into production and we make your cask. So that's an amazing way to get involved with us and exciting.
It sounds like the best way to get involved. I think that sounds great. I haven't really heard of many places doing that. So that, again, is something very unique that you guys are offering over there.
Yeah, well, I'm slightly biased because it's my job, but totally recommend.
Well, I don't feel a bit like that as well, but, you know, when you're honest about something that's so good, it's nice to find chip it in for a coffee cask.
Yeah, we're both like cask owners here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I wonder, sorry, go ahead.
You gotta test what you're doing, so it's good.
Absolutely. I was wondering actually as well, you were talking about like some of the flavors that you can create and that you have quite a fruity dram. Could you tell me a bit more about the different flavors that you can create? Like, let's say you win one of these casks, what different flavors can you create?
Yeah, I'll hand over to Elizabeth because I think she's probably best to answer that.
Yeah, so at the moment, on our current cask program, we're offering 7 different recipes. And these recipes, each one is either malt-led, we've got yeast-led, or we've got wood-led. So depending on the flavors that we want to develop, for example, if we want a smoky flavor, we'll obviously use some peated malt. And then we'll look at heavier cuts. So it also depends on how we're running the stills, and we'll look at a deeper cut in the heart so we can get the sort of heavier, waxier, oily elements that you'd expect from a peated spirit. If we want something light and fruity, we'd look at different yeast, sort of maybe a wine yeast or something like that, and we can convert flavors through that. So we do have a lot of play, and we're doing a lot of fun things. Definitely, since we've come back from lockdown, we've had a lot of really nice recipes that we've been trying out. But yeah, we're able to tweak every part of the process essentially, from our malt to even our fermentation time, the yeast we use, the cuts of spirit, and then of course one of the probably most important part, which is our wood.
Yeah. I think, like Elizabeth said, it's the custom cask program. So the clue is in the name. It's custom. It's personalization. So it's all about kind of what you want, the flavor you're looking for, and then how we can create that for you.
I'm sold. Put my name down.
Put him down for one, yeah.
We're talking about embarrassing family members. So my brother's now come on, Alex. He says, "Great content, guys. I feel like a whiskey now." This is my brother, who's not really a whiskey drinker. Well, he does like the occasional dram, but I'm trying to educate him. So cheers for that, Alex. Hope you actually are having a whiskey and you're not actually pretending.
Cheers.
You guys were also talking a bit about some of the challenges that we've all faced over the last couple of months. So I was wondering if you could talk a bit about the challenges of working through the first kind of more formalized period of lockdown, and how that's kind of working now with a bit more freedom, social distancing, etc.
Yeah, so obviously I'm part of a kind of office team, so we're all working remotely where we can, and only coming in where absolutely necessary, and kind of doing everything I'm sure every other office is doing. But I mean, Elizabeth and the distillers and the production team have a lot of challenges. Obviously, they have to be here, so
Yeah, so with us, it's been a lot of wearing masks, filling out a lot more paperwork. So everyone is signed in, everyone is in our own track and trace. There's been a lot of cleaning, a lot of wiping surfaces, probably more than I've done in a while. But yeah, and we're basically keeping social distance wherever we can. As we've restarted the tours, we've been in communication with the team, so we know when the tours are coming. We try and sort of keep our distance. Obviously, we still need to tend to the equipment, but we do that with, everyone's wearing masks. We try to keep as much distance as possible and time things so that we're maybe not up or too near any of the tours. And to be honest, with the tours, they've been absolutely great. There's been no issues with people. Everybody's been really great and compliant. It's a maximum of 2 households. Everybody's been masked up, and it's been working well so far. Touch wood.
Just a lot of clear communication.
Yeah.
Sounds good, and it's really good that you guys are open for tours again. So how do you organize a tour if you want to come and visit?
So we're doing it by kind of prior arrangement only. So if you get in touch with our visitor centre team, they can book you in, just so we can manage numbers and keep track of kind of who's coming in, households and everything. As Elizabeth said, it's a lot of organisation and work these days. So yeah, if you phone us or email us, we can book you in.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I know how that feels. It's nice somewhere in the venues before we closed again, sadly. Hopefully we'll be open again soon. But yeah, there's a bit of work going into it, but you know, we'll get there. We'll get there in the end.
Yeah, needs must and all that.
Exactly.
Oh, well, absolutely. One final question for you guys, and that is, if you were choosing a cask yourself, if you were choosing a flavour, what flavour would you each choose?
See, I think that's quite easy because I did it last year. I chose that. I went for specialty, and so used chocolate and crystal malts because kind of as this is one of the only distilleries using them, I just think it's really cool and I wanted to do that. And so used those malts and then some brewer's yeast as suggested by my lovely distillers, and then we filled that into a Spanish sherry hogshead. So I'm very excited to see how that turns out in a few years.
So am I. And for my cask, I went with some specialty malt as well, but I made sure to put it in after some chocolate runs, so I got sort of hint of chocolate through the things, and then I used some distillers and wine yeast just for fruitiness. And I've gone for an ex-bourbon just now, but I'm planning on finishing it. I'm still not 100% sure yet. It might be in a red wine cask, or we'll see where we are in 10, 12 years' time.
We're going to do some swaps so we can taste each other.
There'll be a swap for everybody in the cask program. That will be organised in time, so you'll be able to swap bottles with everyone and sort of see different recipes. So that I'm very excited for that part.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
If you want to swap bottles, then I'm sure we can work something out as well. You can try that.
Well, I wanted to thank you guys both for coming on and talking to us tonight, and for coming into the distillery as well and telling us all about Holyrood. And we hope to see you guys soon in real life for a dram.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.